Is Hot Girl Summer still happening this year?
How many carbs are in a White Claw?
If I squat every day, will I get a dump truck?
I'm Shay.
I'm Leah.
We are Two-Tone Training.
You're listening to Don't Tone Alone.
Leah, I'm so excited. We got another pair of sisters in the house. Sister vibes all the way. We've got Caroline and AnnCatherine Conneen in the house. If you guys don't listen to their podcast, you gotta finish this podcast and then go tune into Girls with Goals. What's up, guys?
Hi, thank you so much.
In
We're
unison.
excited to be here too. I know, it happens all the time.
It's us too. Whenever we say something at the same time, we're like, oh, jinx,
You guys
jinx.
are just sisters, not twins. What's the age?
Yeah. Right. We're not as cool as you guys. Just sisters. We're 2 years apart.
Okay. No, that's a good age difference, I think.
It is. It was one of those things where like we didn't like each other probably till we were like 22.
Yeah, it's around there.
Well, so I was 22, you were 24. Went to obviously separate schools for college, and then like you really start to appreciate each other. Are you both in
so.
that like appreciating each other phase, or are you still like bickering all the time?
I feel like the bickering comes from working together, like having a podcast together and having that, like the business relationship.
Right.
That's where it's just like a lot.
Oh,
I
of
feel like,
course.
but in a good
Personally,
way.
we're
We're
good.
like on like a better role of like getting along and appreciating each other more than probably a couple years ago. I feel like that happens with all siblings. Like you grow up and you get
You're
closer.
like, you know what? You're not that
Yeah,
bad.
You're not that bad.
I feel like I'm just like extra excited about this conversation because Leah and I also work together. So it's definitely interesting to hear like how the sister dynamic works, especially you guys live together right now, right?
Yeah.
Like roommates,
Yep,
work together,
us
also
too.
best friends, spend so much time together. But when it comes to the company, do you guys have like separate roles?
A little bit. It's like very blurry lines there.
Nothing
Okay.
like officially like written out, set in
Yeah.
stone.
No
but
job
I feel like-
descriptions.
no job descriptions, but I feel like we definitely both know what our strengths are and weaknesses and kind of just naturally
So what
fall
is
into
it?
whatever.
Putting you on the hot seat here.
And Catherine is great at running like the podcast social medias. Like she has the Instagram all nice and curated. She's also really good about like staying in touch with listeners and stuff through that as well.
Yeah, keeping
And
those
then
loyal.
I am really into like kind of like working on the back end, like trying to get the sponsorships, trying to do like the more big picture planning where we both work together on that. But it's like I feel like I take the lead on that and then she takes the lead on the like in the moment things.
I love that. And then it seems like you both are really good about separating work and play. Like I was listening to your other podcast and I know one of your podcast episodes and you were talking about how you were going to LA and it was originally planned to be a business trip. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, for our mental sanity, this is just going to be a trip about spending time with friends.
Yeah. I think it's something that honestly I struggle with a lot. Like we talk about balance a lot on our podcast, but more so like in like balancing a healthy lifestyle kind of vibe. But I think something that I actually do struggle with a lot is like the work-life balance.
Yeah.
And so that trip for us, like we were going to stay with some friends, but we were like, at first in our heads, we were like, okay, we have to get as much done as we can while we're there, like meet as many people, like do podcast interviews and stuff. And then we got there and we were like, what? Like, why would we do that? Because then we're like so stressed out and it's supposed to be a vacation. We're supposed to be with our friends. So we like canceled everything. And we were like, we need to just enjoy this and do that because we'd been in like a really work grind mode and not really appreciating living as much.
And I feel like sometimes when you do that and like you're able to take a step away, like you create better content. Like sometimes Lee and I go to the gym and we have such a plan and it's like we have to create this much
And
content.
then
if one thing goes wrong, then you're pissed at each other.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm like, I cannot believe we didn't even think of what we're gonna do. I don't know. It's just the whole plan goes out the window. So when we're actually like having fun and enjoying, like the content kind of comes a little bit more naturally.
Exactly.
I feel like followers pick up on that. Like they pick up on the energy, you
You're
know?
just like a lot more actually into it rather than doing things for the picture or for the podcast. Who like, oh, we're gonna be in LA. Who is also in LA that we can record with? And then it just got so overwhelming. We were on the flight there, like, oh, we have to listen to all these podcasts because like
We need to like get
we're
to know them a little
get to
better.
know them,
Right.
And then we were just like, no, like we're here for it was our friend's concert. We were seeing people that we hadn't seen them in like a year. We're like, no, I'm overwhelmed. Like we're just gonna hang out.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun.
I love that. LA is like one of our favorite trips that I feel like we've ever taken together.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it on another episode. We loved it so much that we like got matching tattoos. Really janky tattoos. But
Yeah.
they're bad.
And it was the first time that we discussed like starting our business together. So we got open deltas, meaning open to change. And they're like the most crooked ass triangles you ever did see.
I think mine's like a little bit better. Just saying. Leah's is like done with like a Sharpie.
No, and we've told this story before. We walk in and this guy's doing like, I tend to be like an anxious Anne, and this guy's doing like a Star Wars.
To put it lightly.
And this guy's doing like a Star Wars mural on this girl, and I walk in and think, can I have an open delta triangle? And he's like, yeah, I could literally do that like without looking at your ankle. Sure. And he messes it up. The horror.
Oh my god.
Do y'all have
I
tattoos?
don't, but I definitely want to get some. But
Do you
I'm
have
just
anything?
kind of
Would you get
waiting
sister
now.
tattoos? Because now we have two matching
I know.
ones.
I'm like, we're not allowed to get any more, or else that's weird.
Yeah, we have another one on our spine. So our grandpa always signs everything 143, which means I love you. And he always says the sky's the limit. So we have like an arrow pointing up to the sun and the moon, and then his handwriting in the middle.
Nice.
But I feel like 2 is the limit. Yeah, don't copy me anymore,
Would
please.
you? I definitely would. But I would
At
want to
some
have
point,
like
something-
our
yeah.
own separate tattoos as well.
I want the word always like on my hand or somewhere.
Oh, I
don't know.
love
I like
that.
the on the hand.
That's cool. I don't think I've seen that really.
I don't know. I just
Guys, after
No,
this,
it's
we
fine.
all get matching
go.
tattoos.
Let's go.
You guys said you had the day
want
free.
to.
Yes.
I literally would, because I've always wanted a tattoo and I've just never like gotten serious about it. Just like little ones.
Yeah,
I'm
I like
so
the little
not, like, a sleeve
tasteful.
girl,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
cute.
And especially when I feel like, especially fitness professionals, like you're always in a sports bra, you're always in, I don't know,
It's
like
okay. Like,
leggings.
it
It's
works.
just
It
like,
works.
yeah, a little something, something. But I guess talking a little bit more about that sister dynamic, do you guys happen to have any like pet peeves about each other, or like, do you know what the other person's gonna say?
Probably.
Oh, I don't know.
I love
Okay,
this.
the first thing that came to mind for me is like, you can't like get her attention ever, or like I feel like you never hear me. Like if we're in the house, you can yell at her.
that's-
For,
I
like,
literally
10
just wanna be like,
minutes and she,
retweet,
doesn't
retweet.
hear you. And that is so annoying to
Well,
me.
okay, I always have music playing or like headphones in, and then
She's like constantly
she's
has
like,
noise
"Can
canceling
you
headphones. So
hear?"
you just
like,
can't
is your
reach
hearing
her.
okay?
Do you just text her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have
You're
to,
like, hello.
text her or call her, because like you just yell through the house and it's like, is she even here?
I'm like, yeah, but I'm busy.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm busy. I'm booked and busy.
Booked and busy. I like that. Sorry, Shay.
Oh my God, I feel that in my bones though. Like I'll be like, Leah will look at me though. That's the worst part. She'll look at me and like acknowledge it, and then I'll like ask her about
It's like-
it. Like a few minutes later, and she's like, "What?"
I was like, what are you talking? It's like when people introduce themselves and like you hear their name, but like you're blacked out.
Yes.
So relatable. How about you? What's any
I-
pet peeves?
Especially with like being roommates.
Yeah.
I like to put things away, and she doesn't.
I like knew this was coming.
She doesn't need to like have things like I need to have my space empty.
Yeah.
We have
And
different
like she
standards
doesn't,
of
you know what I mean?
Clean.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's
As long
a
as it's
really
not like
hard thing. Like my boyfriend is so like
I'm scared of
OCD. Yeah, like you literally, I'm like throwing him so under the bus. Thank God he doesn't listen to this podcast. The good news, bad news. You open his fridge and like literally just like even his Brita is like underneath the paper towel, and I'm just like,
no, like I went in there the other day for the first time. I was like, how long have you been living here? And he's
wouldn't
like,
know anyone
3
lived there.
months. I was like, oh, it looks like no one stepped foot in here. Like it's creepy clean. But as long as you're not food messy, I'm okay with it.
Right.
Right.
Like messy versus dirty.
Right. There's a
That's,
difference.
I would draw the line.
Exactly.
Lee and I did. That was what we did yesterday. We did a huge like clean. It was like the first time Lee and I are ever like home for a good amount of time together, because it's been a while like between Leah.
Like sex is good, but have you ever just like done a deep clean of
It's
your
so much
fridge,
it's so
your
good.
closets? Like I felt
music when you get in the zone of cleaning.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
Something
crazy.
that
It's
I never
crazy.
want to start
Crazy.
though.
That's the problem. I
Right.
delay
Yeah.
it.
I
I'm
never
like,
wanna
what else can we
start.
do besides
Let's
clean?
compare this to working out. You don't want to start the workout, but then once you do
it.
and after, you're like, hell yes.
On such a high.
And then you're like, I'm gonna do this every day, and then you don't.
And then you don't.
I don't even 3 days later it's a mess again.
Okay, I don't even think our clean apartment lasted like a day. Like we got back from Run Club the other day and then just dropped everything.
Well, it's hard when you're like,
Okay, but
an
that's you're
instructor.
tired. You're
Thank
fine.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Can we just keep you around? Be like, it's okay, guys. You were
okay, you're
tired.
You're doing your best.
So what does a day in the life look like, speaking of being tired and kind of just like balancing stuff? I know you guys are kind of full send for the summer.
Yeah, I mean, you can go first if you want.
Summer days, I mean, we were just talking, I'm like lifeguarding for the summer. So if it's that kind of day, I'm so exhausted by the end. I'm been waking up at like 6 to work out before.
Wow.
And then because I'm like, I just need to do that. Otherwise, I'm
you're
just sitting in the
on a
chair and I'm like,
Right.
I need to get some energy out in the morning or I'm going to be really irritable.
And people are like, I'm confused why you're tired. You've been sitting in a chair, but sitting in the sun all day and alert. You're like, that's a lot.
You're in the elements.
It's like moving your head the whole time.
Yeah.
You got to be alert. And I feel like the hard part about being a lifeguard is you can't like be on your phone or anything,
I
right?
know.
Or reading.
Yeah.
So do you get so bored sometimes?
If you could read, that'd be really nice.
I know. Well, everyone just has like little speakers, and so I'll like listen to a podcast or
that's
listen to
nice.
music, and it's actually pretty fine. There hasn't been anything crazy when I've been working.
That there's been like no action, so you're just trying to make something out of nothing.
No action, which is like good.
I feel like as a lifeguard, I would like panic. I'd be like, oh my God, imagine if I have to give like mouth to mouth. Like I would just like, oh my God, I would not trust you to be my lifeguard. Well, ever. I also think about like playing softball. Like some people are like, oh, I can't wait for the action. I would stand in the outfield and just like pray to God that the ball would not be hit in my direction.
No, that's like me. I'm so happy that nothing. I had like no like cuts, no sprained ankles, no anything. Someone's like, oh, someone asked me to give stitches. I was like, I wouldn't. First of all, like, I can't do that. Like, I don't know. I'm not certified. I'm not trained to do that. I can't.
Everyone's
not
like,
in my
what
job
beach? I
description.
don't want to go to that beach. Oh, my goodness. We'll keep it on the
Right,
DL.
that's not in my job description.
Yeah, I'm all set.
No, like, legally, I feel you like, can't. I can't do stitches. Like, we're at the beach. That's go to a hospital.
Oh, yeah. No, the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So how about you? Are you doing anything? Are you lifeguarding?
No, so I on like a different page am like working just for myself online this summer, so I have a lot less of a structured schedule.
Love that.
So it's like different in the sense where like I mean we both do the podcast, we both do social media, so I do feel for her, especially like there's no
it's a
service
lot.
on the beach, so she like can't post or do anything.
It's a
when
lot
she's
because then I
there.
have to come home and I'm exhausted.
Right.
And then I'm like,
And
oh, I have
Caroline's
to like,
like,
let me just,
did
like,
you
edit
post
some
this?
videos and like get things
Yeah.
prepared so I can, and then I have to do everything when I get home.
That's
And
so
it's, like,
annoying.
It's a lot.
But then on the other hand, I have like less of a structured routine. So like I'm trying to like really get myself in a better sleep schedule for the summer. I was really good for a while, and then this past week I was just so busy and it was so thrown off. But otherwise, like I love a morning workout to like set it up for the rest of the day, and also especially in summer to like be able to get your workout in the morning and then like spend time outside for the day and like go to the beach and jump in the ocean without worrying like, oh, I have to work out later with salty hair, right? So like summer morning workouts are definitely my vibe. So most mornings I'll wake up, work out, have breakfast, and then literally just like sit on my computer or make content or do that like online personal training, making content, doing that. But then like if it's nice and I can sit outside and do it, I'll try to do that. And I'm trying to go to the beach with her more often.
One morning she just showed up in the car and I was like, she's here too. Like we're
She's
ready
the
to
other
go.
lifeguard. She's not certified, but you know.
So I'm like, I can just put my towel down next to her chair and like I can read my book. Like
That's
she
so
can't,
funny.
but,
I feel
I
like
can just hang out.
we feel that, just like trying to be near each other.
Oh,
yeah,
wherever
I would
possible.
show up at your job and you'd be like busy, and I'd be like, "But do you want to hang out?" She's like, "I can't
I'm like
leave."
sitting up in the chair and she's right below me. Just like she brought her computer, she's working. She's like, I just wanted a change of scenery.
Yeah, no, I literally brought my computer to the beach one day because I was like, I have so much work to do, but I feel so bad that like I'm not getting outside more in the summer and stuff. So I was gonna try it. And there was like no service there. I couldn't really do much, but I was like, okay.
But I'm with my sister.
At least I'm here. Like, is this still productive? Like,
I totally feel that like work outside vibe. When I was working remote, I was like, I just
Yeah.
need like a change of scenery.
Yeah.
But speaking
So
of, we were talking
repetitive.
about Amazon storefronts. I saw one girl post on Amazon there. Now we got to add it to our storefront, ladies. But like the computer in the tent. Have you seen that?
I saw that on TikTok.
I feel like you need that.
I didn't. But we've been saying recently, because sometimes either of us will like try to, because we edit our own podcast, we like alternate weeks, but we try to like just like sit outside and chill and do it, but you can't see anything with the computer.
So you
like,
need
glare.
the tent.
So I need something like that.
Wow.
So I'm gonna find that storefront.
All
Shay
right, so
also
we're gonna
tried to
add it.
order like the
You put it on
treadmill.
your storefront, and
Yeah.
then I'll buy it.
Yeah,
Okay.
amazing. I love it. The treadmill, like the mini
I
office
tried to.
treadmill or something.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get it?
The stand up. I didn't. I was like looking all over, and then I tried to reach out to a few brands and being like, want to collab? Yeah. I was like, I feel like we can make some killer content for you. They're like, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah,
No, I don't even think they answered me.
Probably.
I feel like honestly we should get one of those for our apartment next year in Boston, because when it gets cold and you don't want to like go outside for a walk, and then you can like
I will bundle up. Like I hate the winter, but
Oh,
for
so
something like
much.
being here, I will wear 4 jackets and I'm outside.
Yeah, I feel like you look at you guys, maybe it's a blonde hair, but you think like West Coast. Like, do you guys see yourself moving after school?
I have no idea.
Maybe not
where I'll
like
go.
I can't stay in one place for too long. Like I get really bored fast of places. So I need to be moving around. So like maybe back and forth. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know exactly where. I do like Boston, and I'm excited for like this next year to actually live here for a full year because it'll be our junior year of college. We both go to Northeastern. But our freshman year was COVID. This last year, our spring semester, we were both abroad. So now I'm like, okay, I'm about to start my 3rd year, and I haven't had like a full school year in Boston yet, which is really weird. So like this next year, I'm excited to like feel like I'm actually living in Boston, and then, I mean, but afterwards, I'll go anywhere because I mean we've both grown up like a little bit internationally with our families. So
You were living in Hong Kong, right?
Yeah. So we lived in Hong Kong 5th grade and middle school when we were younger, just for our dad's job. And then moved back to the East Coast for high school. And then we actually spent the last semester in Singapore because our dad's job moved from Hong Kong to Singapore. So then he was working in Singapore, and we both did internships in Singapore last semester so that our family could all be there, which was like a really cool and like fun thing that we did. But now I'm like, okay, I'm going to settle down maybe for this year. And then like travel and live abroad hopefully again.
Wait, how cool. You guys are what, like 20?
We'll be 20 in August. We're 19 right now.
And you've lived in Hong Kong, Singapore. Yeah, we need to leave Boston. Real quick, what was your favorite part about living in Hong Kong?
We were, I don't know, it's like, it's a lot. Like, I feel like you can't really describe it to the extent.
You had to be there.
We were like, you had to be there.
I mean, we were in middle school, but I guess
We
the
were in
biggest
middle
part is
school.
like there was actually like a really good community of people, and we were at an international school. So I mean, we had friends from Asia, from Europe, like from all over. So we kind of got to grow up with like a really diverse community, which was really cool.
That's awesome,
and meet a lot of different people, as well as like traveling from Hong Kong is so great. It's so central to like go to Thailand and Cambodia and the Philippines, and all of that is like 2-hour flights away. You know, it's like easier than going to California from here. Is like popping over to like so many different countries. So travel was great. And then Hong Kong itself is just like a fun place. It's like a big city, but also on an island. So there's like nightlife, but also hiking and all that. It's like a really good place.
Do we need to go to Hong Kong?
We might
Yeah.
go to Hong Kong.
It's extremely crazy right now. So we haven't
It's
been
definitely
back
different.
in
Right.
like 5 years now.
Okay.
I would love to, but I mean, all of our friends' families have moved out, especially
Wow.
with COVID. They're like, it's very crazy there right now.
Oh, man. And then how about Singapore? How was that?
Definitely different than Hong Kong. I think obviously completely different culture than like America, East Coast, everything. So super interesting. Loved being back and living in like Southeast Asian culture and experiencing that again. It was just part of it was COVID, but part of it was Singapore and Hong Kong are very different. I feel like there's a lot less to do
Okay.
in Singapore,
Interesting.
but
Yeah, we didn't love it quite as much.
Yeah.
It was very locked down. And then there was also the element that, like, it was us and our parents in, like, living in an apartment together. So that was, like, an added level.
Are you
of,
guys
like,
all super
difficulty.
close?
We are. Like, our family is very close.
but still that's like a
But that was
That's
like
a lot
the
for anyone.
longest period of time that we had all been living together in a few years, as well as like in a small apartment, all dealing with like a culture shock of a new place. So it was like there were just so many levels to it where it was overall a really cool experience that like I'm really grateful for. But like day to day, it was pretty challenging actually.
I mean, I can only imagine. I'm still shocked at some of my friends that even just got engaged after like going through COVID in the city and living in a tiny ass apartment. I'm like, I don't know like anyone that would survive that. Like, I don't even know if you and I could survive like a studio apartment.
No,
in
I don't
city.
think we could.
No.
Like, she's the only person that I think like maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
But even then, probably not.
yeah, even then, I don't know.
It's
It is
lot.
that's a lot of time. It's in like lockdown. That's a
Right.
lot of time.
No, I do
together.
think that if you survived COVID with your significant other, like
You're good
You're
to
pretty
go.
good.
Like,
You're
better
pretty damn
propose to
good.
me.
although my friend survived COVID and then broke up shortly after, I was like,
No.
what?
I think just like the fact, I feel like for her, she was just like so like ready to be free. You know what I mean? She's like, I'm free now. I don't
Okay,
need a
yeah, I can see
companion
that.
like
I can
that.
see
And now full hot girl summer.
HGS, let's go.
Yeah. So what is going into your hot girl summer besides lifeguarding and besides creating content? What are some things that like it girl
Trying-
vibe for hot girl summer?
a lot more of like getting that work-life balance.
Yeah, you
Yes.
talk a lot about balance on your page and in your podcast.
Yes.
So
And I think a lot of it is like naturally we talk about balance with nutrition and overall lifestyle and like making your lifestyle active rather than being like, oh, I have to work out and like I can't like do anything else.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think balance that we talk about comes down to like fitness, nutrition. But then there's like so many different parts of life that you can apply balance to or kind of balance out a little bit more. And work-life balance, I think, for us is huge this summer, especially it is just the two of us.
Right.
Kind of this summer. And we go, I love our little island in East Coast, like beach town for the summer. But then it's like, oh, let's go to the beach so I can take a picture. Let's go run. Let's go to like run here. Like, you know, it all comes down to something. So I think chilling out a little bit more and just like taking the pressure off is my
Exactly. I feel like that too, especially with the
version of hardcore
workouts.
summer.
I love what you said about workouts. And like, I think just lately, I feel like I got in such a grind of just like going to the gym and like showing up because I'm like, okay, I need to do this, my workout split and like whatever. And now I'm just like, okay, I'm listening to my body and like, I'm just enjoying the weather too. I love running outside. I love like bringing med ball outside, dumbbells outside. And I'm like, all right, this is my summer vibe.
Yeah. I think summer fitness is great. Not only like I think people get really motivated for like the body reasons in summer, but also just the fact that like it's sunny, you have more time, it's more vibrant. Like there's so many more options of what to do. So like summer is just like such a fun, good time for fitness as well. Yeah. It's definitely like more taking those workouts outside or just being active outside, like runs, going on like hiking adventures, just trying to like do more like little day-to-day adventures with no kind of special occasion involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Making every day a special occasion.
Exactly.
Which is why we got to get you guys to Run Club, which
Yes.
you just
We
did this past Tuesday. It was so much fun. A lot of people like were stressed out about it. You say Run Club, and I didn't realize how many people would like panic, including myself. But we showed up, and it was just so nice. Like Leah and I did a test run the day before, just like making sure, and we're like, oh, wow, it's been a minute, but it was nice. It was like one big loop, and it was nice. Our mom came out, her friends, some like, and they just
so
like
fun.
some people walked it, some people ran and walked.
People are just looking for like community and
Exactly.
something to do to better their mental and physical wellness. So I love
When is
that.
the next one? Do you have a date set?
So Tall Ships is Tuesday, June 28th. The following Run Club is
The 19th.
July 19th.
Okay.
Be there.
Okay. All right.
So pencil it in right
Yeah.
Pencil it in.
now.
Booked
Yep.
and busy.
I love
Booked and
it.
busy.
Yeah,
I feel like we
summer
need merch.
definition, booked and busy.
If that's not the name of this podcast. But obviously you guys are almost 20. You're living in a world where drinking, going out, not sleeping.
She's like, eyes on you.
Eyes on you. Is very much a thing. So how do you balance that?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. So being in Singapore, drinking age was 18.
Okay.
So
Well, that's hard then
Changes.
coming back here and you're like, oh,
yeah,
shoot,
I'm like,
I
oh, sorry,
can't
like
just
I
like
have to
walk
get
into
an
a bar.
ID.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Also, a lot of our friends in Singapore were European and older. So like
They would really
they would
go hard.
so
and we were like,
hard.
oh my God.
And I don't even like here, like I don't go hard. And
Yeah.
so I was like,
she doesn't
okay.
go ham, folks.
I don't go ham. So I'm like, no, you guys just take it from here.
Yeah.
But I feel like just do whatever you want. Like
Yeah.
once again, no pressure.
Are
Like,
you guys,
I will
so do
go
you guys,
out-
yeah, do you
I will
like
go
going
out
out in
and
college?
like sometimes I will be completely sober the entire night. Sometimes I absolutely won't be. But it's like whatever if
Whatever
I
you're
don't want
feeling.
to
Yeah.
go crazy, I won't go crazy. If I do, absolutely I will.
Do you get like kickback from your friends being like, why aren't you drinking? Like, you're not fun.
Not for my friends. I feel like it's people that
Don't
people
really.
love to be like know that number one, we work out or like we are healthy and we'll like bring that up or use that as a conversation starter.
Right.
And I don't read too much into it, but after like 5 times in one night of people being like, oh, I guess like us dancing right now is like your workout of the day. I'm like, shut
It's
up.
not funny
anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate it, but like,
Yeah.
can you not show me your Fitbit stats? It's like we're at a party. Like, put that away.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I think both of our perspectives on drinking is just like making whatever decision, or just life in general is like making whatever decision we actually want in the moment. Like neither of us pressure ourselves to drink when we don't want to, or tell ourselves that we can't when we do want to, you know? So I just kind of take like every day or situation as it is. And then I also think that we're both good about like letting a night out just be like a fun night out and not letting it mean like, oh, I've like thrown everything away. I've like, I need to like quit everything, or like letting it make us feel shitty for like the next couple of days or anything like that. I think we're pretty good at like having that balance of like, okay, fun lifetime, and then also like healthy, independent me time, and just like letting them both have a place.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you can have both to like the fullest extent if you want.
Right. If you want. No,
if you want, exactly.
No, I agree. And I think Leah and I have been trying to do that even more so. And I think you're always going to be finding that perfect balance. And I would lie if I say like, oh, like I don't feel guilty for sometimes like whatever, over drinking. And like definitely those things happen. But I think just like, I don't know, coming to terms being like, I want to live in the moment. And if this drink is going to like enhance the moment for me and I want to drink, like let it be.
Something that just in like any situation that helps me kind of like diffuse like a feeling of guilt or anything like that is just saying that something is for the plot. So I'm like, what? Like, what's the? It kind of puts it into perspective that like not every single thing you do is like has the biggest impact on your life as you think it does. Like day-to-day things. Like if you want to do something, do it. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. Like it's all just like one little piece of the whole plot of your life. It's not like the most momentous or decision or anything.
Not everything is that deep.
And it's not that deep. And I feel like as long as you have a direction, like I was talking to my friend the other day and she had pizza and she's like, oh my God, I'm having pizza. And I was like, okay, but like, don't you eat healthy a majority of the time? And she's like, you're so right. I'm like, it's not what you do. I say this time and time again. It's not what you do sometimes. It's what you do most of the time. Yeah. As long as you have that direction, then you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I love that. Like it's about what you do consistently, not the one thing that you like do every once in a while. So it's like, I also feel like you're not going to commit to being healthy and then like never eat a piece of cake again. Never go out again. But you're also not supposed to, because like,
and then that doesn't make you unhealthy.
Is supposed to empower you to like have more fun and be stronger and like live a better life. So it should mean that you still go and do those other things that like are the fun things, because it's like you're building this healthy, fit like body and mind, and it's like, okay, now at what point are you gonna like use that in your life to like actually show up like as that person, and you know, like go out or travel or like show up as that person for like with friends and family and stuff, instead of just always being in the like, I have to build this body, I have to build this mind. It's like, okay, but then also go live and use it. You know?
Right. Because if you don't actually do anything else, have that balance, if you want to call it that.
Right.
Like, that's so boring.
Yeah, what is life?
That's so boring. Because the gym on its own, super fun. Right? Eating healthy and like feeling good, everything, all that, so fun. It feels good to feel good.
Right. Yeah.
But it also feels good to have fun. Like externally, socially, have a life beyond just the gym and nutrition.
Yeah. Right. So what are some of the things that you guys do to kind of like unplug? Like, do you guys make a conscious effort, especially I think for us, like being in social media and like, I don't know, like especially owning your own company, you just feel like you have to work 24/7. Do you guys have that time where you're kind of like, my phone's off by this time, or like when we eat dinner, we don't put away our phones? Do you guys have things like that?
No, like set rules, but I go through phases, of course, from like, oh my God, yesterday I was on my phone so much and my brain hurts and I don't even want to look at a screen, and I will make the conscious effort to like not, or I will set up all my posts and all my things that I need to do and like know that, okay, I've done what I need to do. Like, it's okay to put my phone away for the night or for an hour or whatever it is. I feel like just it's okay for me sometimes to be on my phone all the time. Yeah. And like, if it's not getting in the way of anything else. But of course, some days I'm on it 24/7 and some days I'm not, and I kind of go with what I need in that moment. I do try to not be on my phone before I go to sleep. Yeah. One, because like the actual phone will keep you up, and also like my brain is just going to keep going if I stay on my phone. So I try to kind of wind down or take a little bit of extra time, put my phone on the other side of the room, so I'm not tempted to like look at it or keep working. But
it's so crazy. We just like live in a time where everything's so like digital, and like the wedding, you need the photographer and the videographer, and it's like sometimes people forget to like look up, like, hey, stop looking through the lens, like look what's in front of you. Oh
when it's just people's phones. And I'm like, what? You're not even gonna watch that video back.
I promise you won't.
You're not gonna watch that video back. I can't stand that when I'm at a concert and everyone around is just like filming it.
And we're all guilty of it, like right.
Dance to it now.
Right. I think that is one thing that I've gotten like significantly better at, is I feel like as you keep doing this,
Yeah.
you know when to be on your phone and when to not be. And
Right.
I think that's why I don't have the like guilt or the over exhaustion from being on my phone anymore.
Yeah.
Or as much anymore, is because we were at a friend's concert the other day. I think I took one picture or video because I was like, and I thought in my head, like, I made the conscious effort to not pull my phone out, and then everyone around me was just like, you have your phones out.
Right.
Like, put it away.
I do think you get more
hard,
though, because sometimes I feel like then people are like, I don't know, count on me almost, like to capture the moment, and then I'm like,
there is that
I'm sorry guys,
pressure.
I was trying to enjoy it and I did not get that.
Yeah,
that photo.
it's true though. But I think as you get more into social media, you do get better at identifying, like, maybe at the beginning you were taking the video of the entire experience, and then like in your head you're like, okay, I know this needs to get captured, that needs to get captured, and then I can
real
put it
transition.
away. Yeah, and then I can put it away.
Yeah.
So then it almost doesn't feel like you've done it. But you know what I mean?
Right.
Because before, like you were saying, if I was on a trip, like everything would be documented.
Right.
But now I know this is going to be a good moment. It takes 2 seconds to take the picture.
Boom.
And you don't even have to look at your phone to take a picture.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
like-
feel like that balance helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Vacations recently, because I feel like vacations our whole life, like even before we started doing social media like as a business, like we were just always into like taking pictures, making like little travel vlogs and stuff. But more recently, the past few trips that we've taken, like we went to Thailand when we were in Singapore, and then we went to like LA last week, and we went to New York a little while ago. I've been like not making content while I'm there because I'm like, actually, it's like, it doesn't matter that much. Like, I'll take the pictures that I want to take, but I don't need to be like making a TikTok in every single location. I don't need to be like filming every single thing.
Right.
Because I've just found that all that does is like stress me out.
Yeah, and I think that could go for anyone, just
Yeah,
like on a
oh, yeah,
vacation, whether
absolutely,
you're
exactly.
like influencer or in fitness or not. Like, remember to enjoy the moment.
Exactly. I think just in like for anyone in general, even not like on a vacation or anything, just day to day, like we're all so attached to our phones. So I guess back to your original question, like some things that I try to do is like when I'm working out, not go on my phone. I will get so distracted on my
Do
phone
not
while I'm
disturb.
working out. Like every single rest time, I'll like start a new task on my phone.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm like barely breaking a sweat right now. I'm resting for like 3 minutes between everything. Like, what am I doing? Because I'm stressing myself out with whatever I'm doing on the phone, and I'm not actually.
And then you're
getting a
stressed
good
that you didn't do your
in.
workout.
And it's just
like,
it's just bad.
I feel that.
So like during my workout, having my phone away, trying to like during meal times as well. But I think, I mean, it's hard not to just always like have your computer open or have your phone going, like even when you're watching a movie. I don't remember the last time that I watched a movie without like also scrolling on my phone
Right.
or also like doing work or like online shopping or something. Like
remember
always
when watching a
having to do
movie was
something else.
just
I
watching a
know.
movie?
Oh,
So
not
I'm like
anymore.
trying to make a much more conscious effort of like if I'm doing something, like just do that thing and
I like
not
it.
also have to be like multitasking at all times.
We're
feel
so
like this
just like
generation-
overstimulated, like
Exactly.
all the time. We're like, I
No,
need
it's
8
so
things
much
happening.
overstimulation. Also for just in general, but also this summer, like reading more, because that's something where it's like if you're reading, you physically cannot be doing
Right.
something else. So that is really good for me as well.
That's a good tip. Need to read
Reading
more
and putting
stuff.
your phone in like a separate room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else you're not reading the book.
Exactly.
But I feel like it's the one thing that like you can't be distracted. Like,
Right.
You like I mean like unless you
can't
let yourself
multitask
get
reading.
distracted, but you can't multitask reading.
What I thought was kind of interesting though, like we talk about just like going on trips and having that as like step away time. I feel like we got to dive into a little bit about how we met. So we
Why are we here?
we all met on an influencer, I guess you could call it content creator trip with Alala and Ocean Edge Resort. It was so much fun. We went into the Cape.
Yeah.
But I think it's so funny. This is actually like, I mean, I've obviously been to like events, but this is probably like the first like sleepover,
Yeah,
I guess I
sleepover
had with
event.
other
I
content
know.
creators, and just like so funny going on one of those trips where everyone does the same thing that you do. I don't think I've ever been in that case
Yeah.
besides like for like brief amounts of time, just being like, wow, like I don't know.
Everyone's an influencer.
Yeah,
Everyone
usually
wants
like
it.
you're kind of like one in the crowd. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm taking a picture.
Yeah,
Or people
they're
were
like-
making TikToks. We were like eating s'mores, and people were making
Yeah,
TikToks.
we're like, yep.
Brought the tripod out. No one even like
No
thought
one
twice. It
flinched.
was so fun.
I feel like it made me panic though, because I'm like, oh shoot, like should I be capturing this? Should I
Yeah,
be doing that? And
yeah,
like I
right.
think that's like one thing from the trip that I would notice. I was like, oh, like I don't know, I do get that feeling of like, especially social media, like that comparison factor, like being
Yes.
like that person's doing this and like they're so successful doing this, like, and then you kind of leave that trip. And I remember Lee and I would go back into our room and be like, wait, we're not doing this, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like it can be good and bad. Do you guys
Yeah.
ever
Oh, for
kind of
sure.
get that feeling?
Oh, absolutely. I
so
think
much.
once you start you know, having social media as if it's like a personal thing, you know, like personal account, you have the comparison with other people. Maybe it's like, oh, they're on like a nicer trip, or they have a nicer clothes, or they are prettier, or whatever it is. But once you start doing it as more of your job, those thoughts go away and they're replaced with, oh, they're growing faster, or this post got 10% more likes than mine did, and we have, you know what I mean? And you start looking at more of that kind of stuff. And like, we had the same conversations, and it's crazy. And any creator that you talk to has the same thoughts or the same insecurities and same, you know, awareness of other people's growth, or the pressure to like always be doing more.
Yeah, I think the comparison that is like most toxic for me is not like your classic comparison of like, oh, they're prettier, oh, I think like they have a better body, that kind of thing. It's more so like, oh, I feel like they're doing more, or they're more successful. But like, I've been really trying to flip my mindset on that recently and be like, okay, like, to whose standard? Like, they're more successful, like, and that doesn't mean that I'm not also successful in what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And like, there's always going to be somebody who is more fit than you, who's doing something better than you, who's getting a better grade than you, who is making more money in their career. But it's like, somebody else's success doesn't take away from your own. So I don't know why we like let that kind of let somebody else's success
let
make
it be
us
a
feel
motivator,
so much worse
if
about
anything,
yourself.
yeah.
So like, flipping that switch of like, okay, if they can do it, I can too, instead of like, why do they get that and I can't?
Right.
Yeah, we had somebody on our podcast recently talking a lot about manifestation and stuff, and she said like, you have to be genuinely happy for other people, because if you're not, you're telling yourself that that is like a bad thing to get to, or that it's like an impossible place to be. If you're like, they just got there, they're just lucky, like, how did they do that? You're telling yourself like, it's not possible for me to work to get there. Or if you're saying like, if you're just having negative feelings about somebody else being successful at something, it's telling yourself that like, that's a negative place to be. So then you're not going to let yourself grow to that point as well. So like, trying to be genuinely happy and be inspired by other people's successes and things, instead of letting it like make me feel less. Or
I love it.
Yes.
For 19 years old, y'all got a lot of wisdom. Mad deep with it. What are some of the things that you guys are kind of manifesting? What is on that like kind of manifestation list?
I mean, of course, more growth and success, and making our podcast and brand more established and something that we can, you know, make a career out of. And personally, like, I think that taking the pressure off is something that I've been working on a lot. I know we talked about it like 17 times in this podcast, but taking the pressure off of everything, because I feel like kind of with manifestation, part of it is we were talking about on this podcast episode a few weeks ago, was a huge part of manifesting something, if you're like spiritual or like with the universe, is trusting that it will happen. Or that you can't force it. If it's supposed to happen, or if it's going to happen, like you actually can't mess it up. And so taking the pressure off and just understanding that it's going to happen. So just like keep doing you, stop focusing only on it, and just like trust that behind the scenes, everything's going to work out. And so taking the pressure off and understanding that it will still happen. And you're going to get so much more out of like your life, out of whatever you're trying to do, out of whatever you're working on in the current moment, whatever it is, if you just let it happen and stop just like forcing things. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. I think it was really funny. We had Kevin Cooney. Do you guys know who he is? He's a Boston influencer, content creator. He's actually kind of big on TikTok, but he was talking about how he's like so like that, right? He's like, everything that happens to me, like such a good mood about it. And I was like, I wish I like had your outlook, but it was so funny. He was talking about like, he'd like get into like, he'd hit his car and be like, well, like I was supposed to be at work like a little bit later. I was like, wow, like if only I had that outlook. And then his girlfriend was like, I can imagine it being in a couple and being like, no, I just had a bad day. I need you to be compassionate with me. I need you to be compassionate with me. But like, I think it is a good thing to like have that kind of outlook on like, maybe that wasn't meant for me, that job, that promotion. Like, yes, I wanted it, but it's led me to
there's another plan.
Opportunity. And I think a lot of people going through right now, just with the market the way it is, like going through layoffs, going through what you're going through, but maybe it's pushing you in a direction that you didn't even expect.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I've been trying to look at like every good thing or everything you do as a win, instead of like everything that you don't do as a loss. You know, like making the baseline like a neutral zone, and only kind of letting it like go up with the positives instead of like being super knocked down by like everything that you don't do or everything that does feel like a loss, you know?
Yeah. Love that. All right. Well, we end every podcast. So I could talk to you guys forever and ever and ever. But we do have a game that we like to play with our guests. So this one,
Yeah, what games do you guys do?
Yeah.
I loved the one that you guys just posted about like.
That was so
we
much
did
fun.
like he's a 10,
He's a
but we
10,
did a whole
but
episode on
yeah.
those because we were having so much fun with them.
What are some ones that stand out? I gotta.
Let's
The
think.
hot girl walks. Everyone was like, he's a 10, but he doesn't go on hot girl walks with you. Like, he's a 0.
Canceled.
He's done.
Right.
Or people were like, he's a 3, but he goes on hot girl walks with you. Like, he's a 7.
Oh, that definitely
right?
bumps him up.
Yeah, and Catherine was really against like flip flops. She does not like toes.
Okay, because
out
why are
in
your toes
general.
out in public?
for guys or for anyone?
Just
For
anyone.
anyone.
She's
Oh,
like-
really?
You don't wear flip flop or sandals? No
She's
open
like
toe
not
shoes.
like an open toe girl.
I'm
Why are
not
your
at
toes
all.
out?
What do you wear lifeguarding?
I'll be barefoot. I'm like fully wearing.
But then your toes are out.
yeah.
She
Well, if
would
you're
rather be
barefoot, it's
barefoot
fine.
than,
I would
like,
rather be barefoot
flip-flops
than wear
that draw, like,
flip-flops.
attention.
For some reason, flip flops are like worse.
It's like a
to me.
thong to your
Yeah,
foot.
it's like I would rather be naked than be in. You know what I mean?
Be naked than what? In a thong.
Right. Then in like.
She's like, what are you really covering?
In public, I would rather be naked than just be like in my underwear. If you like had to be naked. It's like something about it is
I
just
feel like
worse.
I would
feel
like
it
hold
draws
on to
more
that tiny
attention.
piece of cloth for too much of your life. I don't know.
Oh man.
But no, I will wear like Vans to the beach until you get on the sand. Then like take them off.
All right, no flip. Thank God thank God I wear closed toe shoes.
No, I do. If you're like wearing a dress, then open toed shoes are totally. You know what I mean? Like.
There's rules.
just-
Okay,
there are
can
rules.
you
She doesn't,
can you
like,
just write
like
up a
a
rule book
hobby
for us,
auto.
please? Because I don't
Honestly,
wanna.
I feel like it's worse if like men wear flip flops because
I
because
agree, and I hate
'cause
to say it.
I hate to say it, but
Like jeans and flip flops, it's like
No.
jeans and running shoes.
We do have
I'm
some
like,
guys that listen to this
Exactly.
podcast, and I just picture them just like.
He's like,
yeah.
yeah, check.
I don't know. I feel like you could have like, there could maybe be like a higher quality like more sandal.
oh no,
type
yeah,
one
yeah,
that
yeah,
could be
absolutely. Like
accepted.
sandals, if
Okay.
you're going like high class with it.
I think we need to ask we need to ask the listeners how they really feel about sandals.
About high class sandals.
Yeah, and what
Guys, that's what we should do next. We should collab.
Yes.
Like if the personal training and the group fitness doesn't,
doesn't work out, like, make
we're
sandals.
creating
We're
men
making
sandals. Mandals.
Mandals.
love that for us. All right, so this game is going to test how compatible you two are. I mean, I feel like we could do
my
this
God,
too,
okay.
but
Okay, yeah, maybe we all participate.
We all do it?
yes,
I feel like our listeners do know our answers for some of these. But
That's
it's
true.
fine.
Okay.
Um,
Do you ask the same questions to all listeners?
no,
Is it
you guys are
different group of
special.
them? Okay.
Yeah.
No, we changed the game up. But yeah, I think it's just interesting to see how similar you guys are.
Okay.
Lee and I pretty much have the same answer. I feel like for a lot of these.
Yeah. So I guess we're all doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically this or that. So I'll say this or that, and then you have like 2 seconds to answer.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? Hot sauce or ketchup? 3, 2, 1. Hot sauce. What did you just say?
I said hot sauce.
Oh.
I would prefer hot sauce, but I feel like I don't use it as much.
I'm similar.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
that does make sense.
So it was
I
like
used-
interrogation. Leo said, "What did you
I
just?"
thought she said I didn't. I thought she said something besides hot sauce or ketchup. I was like,
She said
that wasn't an
barbecue
option.
I
Right.
used to hate ketchup, and like now I'm totally okay with it. But I feel like just because of that, I like can never answer something with ketchup because I used to really hate it.
Okay.
No, I would prefer hot sauce. Like if you said choose out of these two, but I feel like I would more frequently use ketchup.
That's fair. I'm trying to think of like what other like scenario we could put into, but whatever.
I'm dead at how deep this question is.
Okay. Okay. Ready? Seafood or steak? 3, 2, 1. Steak.
Seafood.
I'd say seafood too.
Okay.
And you guys both said seafood?
I said
said
you said
steak.
steak.
Salmon or
I love a good
haddock or
salmon.
yeah.
Oh,
And a
actually, I
haddock.
would choose salmon
And
or like
shrimp
and good fish.
And lobster.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
taking my
Leah's like the
answer.
steak. She's like the meat eater.
Yeah. I've chilled out a little bit though.
Yeah.
Don't paint me to be someone that I'm not. Thank you. Okay. Cheeseburger or hot dog? 3, 2, 1. Cheeseburger.
Wait, did you guys all say cheese?
Cheeseburger, yeah.
I feel like all of us answering at once is
Is a little trippy. Okay.
But I agree. I'm not a hot dog
I'm not a
person.
hot dog
No.
Yeah.
I feel
Apparently,
like people
don't know
from
the last
Boston though
time I've
should
had
be
a
like
hot
there's
dog.
some
Fenway
weird
Frank.
stat where you're like you're not supposed to eat more than like 7 hot dogs a year or something.
Can someone fact
definitely
check
heard about
that?
that.
It's
That's definitely a
yeah.
thing.
My friend Lizzie eats like 1 hot dog like per meal. So
Catherine recently
she's like,
got Trader Joe's corn dogs.
That was okay. One of our friends had like a corn dog phase, and she would like eat corn dogs, and I was like,
all the time.
that's hilarious.
I feel like that's a baller move.
That's
just
a
walking
baller
around
move,
with a corn dog.
And so we were at Trader Joe's, and they had corn dogs, and I was like, I have to get them. Legally speaking, I have to get these. So I got them, and they were like, it was so interesting.
Pizza or pancakes? 3, 2, 1.
Pancakes.
Pizza.
I have no idea. I couldn't even answer.
Oh my God.
That was really hard because
my
like I have
favorite
such a
things.
sweet tooth, but like life without pizza.
I feel like I'd have to say pizza.
I could supplement the
I
pancakes
love-
with something.
I don't get pizza that much, but I love like making a good homemade pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Like our family loves to have like homemade pizza nights. It's really fun.
I always love the
So I
idea
love
of that, but I feel like then when I do that, I try to go like almost like too healthy, and then it's always like cracker and marinara sauce.
No, I
Like,
know.
that's
we,
what
we get like a good like dough crust. We put the cheese on and then just like whatever toppings.
No, but
we
we
do a good job.
We've had our fair share of cracker and marinara.
This is, or when you served me eggplant with marinara sauce and a sprinkle of cheese and called it pizza. The nerve. Rude. Okay, next one. Scary movie or rom-com? 3, 2, 1. Rom-com.
I don't do scary.
I hate
rom-com.
scary. I'm that person like covering my
I
eyes.
used to love them, and I just have become such a weenie since.
All right. All-inclusive trip or like on the beach or camping? 3, 2, 1. All-inclusive.
I'm just confused at who would say camping.
I don't know.
Like glamping, maybe. But
I
like,
would glamp like for the plot.
I would do
I would
for the
glamp.
plot.
I would do both, but I would frequent the all-inclusive, and the
Right.
camping would be like
Like
a
a one-time
one-night
thing.
pizzazz.
Pizzazz.
Just for the,
I went camping with my ex, and I literally was like, it was, and it
That
rained,
was it.
and
It
it's
was
rained.
just that.
And I was like,
He's an
that's
ex.
not
the
right.
last straw.
Yeah.
No.
All right, ready? Reality TV or documentary? 3,
Oh.
2, 1. Reality
Reality
TV.
TV.
I guess technically a documentary is reality, but like
I
it's
don't
different.
like all reality TV. Like I don't like when I feel like the people are all like super trashy. Like I like when it's
Yeah.
like good quality people.
yeah.
Like the Kardashians.
I
love
do
it.
love I
You may have a few people hating on you for that comment.
I respect the Kardashians. I think they're businesswomen.
They-
and people
No, I
smart.
love
Understand
I
it.
love
They're
the
smart.
Kardashians.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
with
smart.
you.
So I like that.
Our mom
I
thinks
like
she's
The
Kris Jenner.
Bachelor.
Yeah.
As she should.
Have you seen the like you just got Chrised?
No.
There's
Oh,
like a
God.
TikTok
There's a TikTok.
trend, and people
And
will,
people
like
like say something that's not true, but just like to get you riled up, and they're just like, you just got Chrised.
Dang.
And then
Oh.
it's a video of
photo
Kris Jenner.
I love it. She's such a boss.
So
Wow,
good.
I need to look into this trend.
All right. Last one. Lifting or running? 3, 2, 1. Lifting.
Oh.
She's like, that's all, bitch.
I lift more consistently, but the feeling after a run is better than
Hit
the feeling
stiff.
after a
Right.
lift
Yeah.
for me. So
Okay.
Agreed.
I would say like if I had all the motivation in the world to like do either, it would be running. But lifting is usually easier for me to get myself to start.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like I have a hard time picking that, but I do. I don't know. Lately, I'm in a lifting mood.
Okay.
Yeah, it does go like I go through phases.
Phases.
Yeah, it's back
But
and
even
forth.
if I am in a running mood, I'll still lift, which is why I'm gonna say.
I
lift.
always
Yeah.
I
You know what I
always
mean?
do both.
Mm-hmm.
But like the sweat and the endorphins from cardio like definitely hit different.
Yeah.
Oh, agreed.
Agreed. All right. Ladies, this was so fun.
This was so
It
fun.
was.
I hope you
Wait, I
have
already forgot. What was the name of our podcast?
booked and
and
busy.
busy.
Oh yes.
We're booked and busy.
I have like, I literally always compare myself to Dory from Finding Nemo. I have the short-term memory loss.
Yeah, you are, Dory. So I hope you have fun in your Boston adventures.
Thank
We're
what-
here all night.
Yeah.
We'll be here all night, folks.
We'll be here all night.
Plug yourself. Tell people where they can find you, where they can listen to your podcast.
Yeah. Instagram at AnnCatherine Conneen.
At Caroline Conneen.
Same on TikTok at AnnCatherine Conneen at Caroline Conneen. And the podcast is Girls with Goals at Girls with Goals Pod on TikTok and Instagram.
Hey, amazing.
Listen on Spotify or Apple.
you
Probably
can
other
watch
places
on
too,
Spotify
but those
too?
are the two that I can definitely confirm with you that you can find it.
No, you
And
can
there's,
listen
like,
everywhere.
so
if
many podcast
you-
apps, and I never know like which one they're on or
I
something.
feel like those are the main ones. As long as
Yeah,
you're there,
exactly.
you're kind
Yeah,
of
your
everywhere.
bases
It's
covered.
it's a video podcast on Spotify as well, so you can actually watch
Trippy.
on Spotify, which
Yeah.
is very cool.
I know, you
so.
guys are making us look bad. Yeah, we gotta up our game with the video podcast. But you
People-
can find this episode actually on YouTube.
Oh,
Yes.
perfect.
Cool.
Amazing. All right,
Well,
Leah.
You can tone from home,
You can tone from your phone.
but all we ask is that you don't tone alone. Bye, guys.